Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. And if you're watching this right now, then you might have some issues with a girl that you're dating or a girl that you're in a relationship with, or maybe even your wife, and you think she might be cheating on you. Well, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be going over some of the biggest telltale signs that a girl or a woman or your significant other is doing when she's cheating on you. Now, this is stuff that I have had experience with in my past relationships. I've had experience with this talking to other people who've been in relationships where their significant other has been cheating, and these are the biggest signs. Now, I want you to stay tuned until the end because I am going to offer a solution for you. It's not just enough to know whether or not she's cheating and know the signs, because listen, at the end of the day, let's be realistic. Even if these signs are here, it doesn't necessarily mean she's 100% cheating on you. But if you're seeing these, it is possible, and then we're going to go into the solution to figure this out once and for all. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first big sign that she might be cheating on you is the sex is less frequent or poor. Now, there is no order to these. Everything is pretty much equal. There's not one that's more important than the other. But either way, everything here is something that you should be looking out for. Is the sex in your relationship less frequent, or is it kind of moved to a level where it's not as good, meaning she's not as into it anymore, where you guys still do it even on a frequent basis, but she doesn't seem into it, she doesn't seem excited, you seem to be the one who's always trying to initiate it, right? This is something you got to be paying attention to, because if a woman is cheating on you or she is seeking something outside of the relationship, that means that she's less interested in having sex with you, or maybe she's actually having sex with someone else, which is causing her to not be as interested in having sex with you. So pay attention to that. What's happening with that? How often are you guys getting intimate? And don't just look at the sex part of it. Even look at just the smaller intimate details. Is she kissing you a lot? Is she being very affectionate with you? Has that been less? Is she not doing that as much? Remember, if she's seeking something outside of the relationship, she's getting her needs fulfilled there and not with you. So pay attention to what's going on here with anything sex, touching, intimacy, affection, because that is one of the first things to go when a girl is cheating on you. Now, next, and this is a big one, this is something that comes in many different forms, but basically I put here she always has somewhere to be other than with you, right? So I could say a lot of different things here. There's many things, right? Maybe she's very cliche, she's working late, or she's always at work, or there's a big project going on, or maybe she has a lot of other people to hang out with and she's going out a lot. She's just always doing something and she's not spending time with you. Now again, this could be in multiple situations. Whether you live with her or you don't live with her, this can still be the case. She's never home, right? So if she's your roommate, you guys are living together, she's never home, she's always somewhere else, it's possible she might be cheating on you. It's possible. We don't know for sure, okay? And if you guys are dating and you don't live together, well, there is the potential that she is actually spending more time with other people other than you because she's with somebody else. Now again, these are some signs you should be looking for on a more frequent basis. If this is just happening 1 week and you just seem to be paranoid, well, maybe that's not the case. Maybe she does have a lot of work to do, or she does have a lot of events going on. So again, look at all of these with a more critical eye. Don't be so caught up that she might be cheating just because this is happening. I want you to be looking at these and seeing, are they happening all the time? Are things not adding up correctly, right? So this is another big thing you should be paying attention. Her not wanting to spend time with you because she might be spending time with somebody else. Here's another big one, and this can come in many different forms, is acting more private. So this could be her hiding her phone, or maybe making sure that you're not able to look at her phone, or something's going on where she doesn't tell you exactly where she's going. She's a little vague with details. And maybe in the past she wasn't like that. It was very obvious, like, oh, okay, tonight at 8 o'clock I'm going to see Jenny and we're going to hang out, or I'm going to this work event that is about blah, blah, blah. If she seems to be more vague and everything's a little bit more private and you're not really understanding what she's doing and everything is very cryptic, well, this could be a sign that she's cheating, that she's off somewhere else doing something that she's not able to explain in detail to you because she's lying and she's doing something behind your back. And again, and I should note this, cheating comes in a few different forms, right? There's emotional cheating and there's physical cheating. So she could be not hooking up with a guy or having sex with a guy or touching a guy, but you could be in a what's called emotional relationship with a guy where they're telling each other that they like each other. She's flirting a lot with him. She's doing things with him that would act as if it's a relationship, but it's not, right? But again, that is still cheating because she is acting emotionally intimate with someone else. So if she's acting private at all, vague, things are unclear, this is another sign that she's potentially cheating on you. Now, this is sort of similar to, her always having to be somewhere, right? New friend she's hanging out with. Maybe there's a new friend that you haven't met yet. She keeps on mentioning this new friend, and she's telling you the truth in some aspects. Like maybe she's telling you she met a guy that's a new friend, but you never meet him. You're never able to meet him. Something is going on there. There's always some sort of excuse, or maybe she's lying and she's making up some friend or some girlfriend that she's hanging out with a lot, or she does have a real girlfriend that she keeps on saying she's hanging out with a lot, and you're like, wow, she keeps on hanging out with her friend Jenny like all the time. This is weird. I wonder what's going on. This is abnormal. Usually she doesn't spend a lot of time with her. So be wary of that as well. Another one is she thinks you're cheating. And this is a sign of projection, right? She's projecting onto you. She's very wary of you and maybe accusing you of cheating. And people sometimes might do that because they know in the back of their minds that they're doing it. And they think, well, if I'm doing it, well, then it's possible that my partner is doing it, right? So this is her projecting that thought onto you. So if she seems to be projecting that onto you and asking you questions or being wary of you, and you're like, what the hell? I'm not, all right? I'm not doing any cheating. That's not what I'm doing at all. Well, her being very wary of that could mean that she's actually doing it. I know that sounds crazy, but that is a very big possibility. Again, the idea of projection. So what do you do if you're watching this and you're like, wow, all these are coming up, right? These are a bunch of signs that I'm seeing. Well, here's the thing. Again, we don't want to accuse her of cheating. We don't want to even assume she's cheating, but obviously something is building up inside of you and you're feeling like something is off in the relationship. So I don't want you to take these things and be like, oh my God, all these things are happening. I need to tell her she's a cheater. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to talk to her. We want to communicate with her. And we don't want to use the word cheating. We don't want to go there. Instead, you need to communicate with her and talk to her about some of the problems you're seeing. If you're seeing some of these things happening on a frequent basis, that she's not spending time with you, she seems to be being a little bit more private, the sex is not as frequent, the intimacy is not as frequent or as intense as it used to be, then you talk to her about that. You tell her about that. You say that you have concerns in the relationship, that something is going on, and you want to discuss and you want to see what's happening. And again, I wouldn't use the word cheat. I wouldn't do anything of any accusations, but she might come out. She might tell you, who knows? Maybe you can say in a way, not of an accusatory way, you can say, I got worried here. I'm getting worried that you might be seeing someone else. And that's just something that I've been thinking, right? So you're not saying that she's doing it, but you're telling her that this is something that you're thinking. But at the end of the day here, what's really important is you want to communicate with her, talk to her, let her know what's going on. Don't just sit here in the back of your head trying to figure it out and just looking at the signs and then wondering what to do, and then all of a sudden one day you just blow up at her. No, instead, talk to her, tell her how you're feeling, tell her what's going on, and do it in such a way where she's listening to you in a way where you're trying to actually fix the relationship and just see what's going on. Now, one thing you could do to spice the relationship back up again is use my famous trips tension technique. There is a link in the description of this video below, and that link is going to take you to a free video. It's 100% free, and it's going to show you how to build sexual tension. Now, this is something that I offer to my guys who are not in relationships yet, but this works even if you're in a relationship. And the reason why is because it still builds sexual tension. And so if the sexuality in your relationship and the intimacy is dying, you can use this as a way to build it back up. And I show you and I demonstrate on the girl how to do it. So it's going to be as if you guys are starting to date for the first time. So go ahead and check that out. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, check it out. There's a link in the description below. And I want you to write below in the comments if there's any other signs that you can share with the guys, because we're a community here. We're helping each other out. What other signs are there that a girl might be cheating? Write them down below. I'll be in their comments, and I will see you on the next video.